Breaking news, guys. Did you hear? A person in the world just had a baby. It's a miracle.
The most watched door in the world. Kate Middleton apparently went through that door earlier today. She is inside in labor.
I'm here in the delivery room with April. She's about to have a baby, and she's doing something that's almost unheard of in the United States. She's taking laughing gas for pain.
What is his name? We don't know. What we know, obviously, is that he was born yesterday, 4:24 p.m. London time.
Celebrations ringing out across the UK, welcoming the future king. Thousands of people toasted the baby, and buildings lit up in royal blue for a baby boy.
Oh, look. Who's that? Oh, my word.
And
Hello.
here we go. Let's listen in.
Kate Middleton and Prince William with their beautiful little boy.
That's right, folks. The future king was born, but of course I'm sure you knew he was on his way, considering how he got an AP News alert when the royal duchess had her first contraction. Yes, apparently there's nothing more important going on in the world than the birth of one baby, despite the fact that about 370,000 other babies are also born every day. And really, wouldn't it be nice to give the same media attention to the thousands of children that die every hour from hunger, poverty, or preventable disease? But that's right, those kids are not lucky enough to be born into the bloodline of royalty. Remind me again why it is that people are worshiping kings and queens in the year 2013? And not just the English, American reporters from almost every network were stationed outside of Kate Middleton's birthing room. But while this story was pulling in about 2,200 tweets per minute, many other things have actually been happening that affect people on this planet. Starting with the ongoing case of New York Times reporter James Risen. You see, Risen's being forced to testify in the criminal trial of a former CIA officer. The CIA officer, Jeffrey Sterling, has been accused of leaking information to Risen about a botched CIA plan against the Iranian government, the details of which were published in one of Risen's books titled State of War. Because of his leak, Sterling has become one of 7 people that Obama's charged under the Espionage Act. And on a recent court ruling calling for Risen to testify, the federal court added that, quote, clearly Risen's direct first-hand account of the criminal conduct indicted by the grand jury cannot be obtained by alternative means, as Risen is without dispute the only witness who can offer this crucial testimony. But although his testimony is key in the charges against the leaker, Risen has made it very clear that he will go to prison before having to testify against his source, and plans to appeal that decision all the way to the Supreme Court. If this is the case, Risen would be the 18th journalist in 30 years to be jailed for protecting a source, according to the Reporters Committee for Freedom of the Press. This story is getting very little attention in the media, although it's journalists like Risen that the media should be jumping to protect. But this is just the latest example in Obama's crackdown on journalists. So what other important stories are being overshadowed by the royal newborn? How about the fact that for the last 2 years, radioactive water from Fukushima's nuclear site has been leaking into the Pacific Ocean continuously. And just now, Tokyo's power company, TEPCO, finally admitted it. TEPCO's spokesperson issued a statement this week saying that, quote, we would like to offer our deep apology for causing grave worries for many people, especially for people in Fukushima. An apology that's too little, too late. Health concerns over exposure to contaminated food products are ongoing. Not to mention contaminated seafood and ocean life that goes far beyond Japan. Sadly, a solution to this disaster remains at a distance. As TEPCO continues its cleanup efforts, the levels of radioactivity in groundwater continue to rise. And the worst part of it all is that TEPCO has no official way of handling radioactive water, which some fear could mean the radioactive material will eventually get dumped into the ocean. It's a terrifying prospect that will undoubtedly affect everyone on this planet. But instead of having a meaningful discussion about the dangers of nuclear energy, news networks are far more concerned with how much hair is on that little baby's head. According to the media, learning that is much more important than the news that actually affects our lives. And when there are so many other stories begging for attention, any distraction is one too many.